Where is the project manager in Agile Scrum? If you look at the Scrum guide, you'll see three different key roles: product owner, Scrum Master, and developer team. The question is, the project manager in these three different key roles, which one could you take? So in order to understand that, let's look at the role or the function of each one of those key roles. The product owner is a value optimizer. He's making sure that there's a liaison between the stakeholders and the developer team, making sure that the team does not develop stuff that the client does not need. He's making sure that the team develops, not doing. In other words, he's making sure that the team is not doing gold plating. If you look at the Scrum Master is a coach. He's making sure that the team has the tools and the techniques. The team as a whole, like the product manager, the developer team, and sometimes the whole organization. He's making sure that he's coaching the people to make sure that they're not using another framework, but they're using a mindset, making sure that they're doing twice the work in half the time. Takeaways and impediments. He's more into coaching and making sure that the people are there to the methodology than making sure that the client gets what he wants. Because if the product owner will tell the team that they need to work on a feature that the stakeholder does not need, the Scrum Master will optimize the team to develop that feature much better. This being said, for sure the Scrum Master could work with the product owner to make sure that this doesn't happen, to coach the product owner for this not to happen. But this is beside the point. The developer team are what we call T-shaped people. Each one of them is an expert in at least one field, but is generalist. He knows other fields. They work on the architecture, they do the tests, they do the programming. They're making sure that the deployment does properly. So in these three different key roles, let's try to fit the project manager. Now the project manager usually, if he's a developer, which sounds very smart to put a project manager as a developer, because if the project manager develops, he could, so to speak, trick the other developers to thinking that he is just a friend and he's working with them and we're doing a job together, so they can open up to him and the work will be much better. The truth is that if you do that, the team in the daily Scrum would have a very hard time talk about impediments and problems, because project managers don't like to see problems. And it's very intimidating to have a problem that you cannot fix, and you know that other people they know how to fix it, because don't forget, there's T-shaped people. So if you're not expert in a field, you have your expertise, but it could be that you're working in something that you don't have an expertise. Someone else could say 1, 2, 3 words or guide you to fix the problem. Because in Agile, we work with the team, we don't work with individuals. So if the project manager is a developer, this will make it that the project will not go so smoothly, because people are not going to be so open. It's going to be very. It might be very. You go to a daily Scrum and you see your boss there. Maybe some stuff you don't want to say because you don't want to lose your job. But this will make it that the project will go 10 times faster. So it's not appropriate for a project manager to be one of the developers. Although I saw this in some companies, and it is a possibility if it's really part of the developer team. Because I'm not talking about a project manager that is a team lead. I'm talking about a project manager who is like really doing management, but is not really part of the team. He's just putting himself there to trick the people to make them believe that he's one of the programmers. That is not appropriate in Scrum, because it goes against the mindset of openness and trust. And how can you trust a person who is not a developer but make himself a developer in order to know better what you're doing and go into the nitty-gritty? So maybe you think I'm wrong, but I don't think that the project manager should take up themselves to be a developer at the beginning, anyways, when you transition, because you don't know the framework, you don't have the agile mindset, you don't have you don't have the experience with your team to use agile. So I would, if I was a project manager, I would distance myself from being a developer, unless it's part of my job as a team lead. That's something different. If you're thinking about the Scrum Master and the project manager, that sounds very good. Now we're getting somewhere. You have a Scrum Master. He's the master, and he is managing the team because he's the master. Yeah, you don't have a master, so master manages, because the master is the master. He owns something. He owns. So the Scrum Master is the master of the team. So you say to yourself that the Scrum Master will be the one that would tell the team what to do. So it's a natural thing to think that you have the project manager, which is, so to speak, the project master. And when you implement Scrum, you should be the you should be the Scrum Master. In reality, this is not a very good idea, because the Scrum Master is a very, very, very technical role. He's an expert in making sure that the people doing twice the work in half the time. In other words, you make sure that they use the framework in the proper way, and there's no impediments, and the people has the tools to work and to do what they do. He's looking at the work and he's trying to figure out what would be the next how long it's going to take to develop the next feature. He's making sure that that the team, there's a synergy in the team, and he's making sure that he's coaching. Actually, he's coaching. So yes, the project manager could be a Scrum Master, but if he's concentrated too much on the Scrum methodology and coaching and making sure that the team is adhering to Scrum methodology, when would he have the time to deal with the difficult stakeholders that are very contradictory, and to manage the project? Because he's going to manage individuals, each person. He's going to manage the methodology, and if he himself does not know the mindset, or did not acquire the mindset yet, it's going to be very hard for him to. It's going to be very hard for him to be a coach, especially if he manages 16 teams of 16 people. It's a problem. Now, if you think about the product owner, if you say to yourself that the product owner should be the project manager, apparently it's a very good idea, because project manager is usually making sure that the team does not work on features that is not necessarily like gold plating, and is making sure that the team goes in the proper direction. At the same time, he shields the team from the stakeholders, and he's making sure that the clients tell them what they want. Also, he has to make sure to do a lot of, unfortunately, there's a lot of politics, because you have many stakeholders that want different stuff. But since he knows what each stakeholder needs and what we need to make the project succeed, he's able to work with the people and to show them where we are, where we're going, and everything. So he's working with the people. He's working with the. He's more a human a human worker, if you want to call it this way. He works with the people to make sure that the developers are optimized to work exactly on what they need to work in order to please the stakeholders. The sponsors are happy. The project is not failing. You have to think of this in a way that in life everything is about learning. Did you learn? Do you know? What you learned yesterday is very interesting, but does this apply to this team? And does this apply to this team with this project because the other project was not the same? How does this work? Do you do, when you do gaming, let's say, so you have a certain date. It doesn't matter what the people ask you. You have a certain date. I've seen a client that asking a lot of, details, and he almost killed the project. You have to know how to deal with this client. To know how to talk to them. I was able to explain to him that if we continue like this, we're not going to go nowhere. He's never going to have his software because we're going to change. We're going to get nowhere. And this kind of management is done by the project manager, not the Scrum Master. So please, next time you see a job that says we're looking for a project manager, Scrum Master, think twice. And if you want to do certifications and if you want to become very, very good at software development, I would not suggest for you to, as a project manager, to become a Scrum Master. I mean, it's good to have the certifications and everything, but I would suggest that you hire a Scrum Master to make sure the project really goes to the proper direction. Now, this doesn't come exactly from me. It's also my training that I had and everything, and all the experience. I have a lot of experience in the field and all that. It could be that you have a different experience. I would love to know what you think. If you disagree with me, I'm here to learn as much as I like to teach. So don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you.